Hello, and welcome to episode 118 of the Quiet and Strong podcast, especially for introverts. I'm your host, David Hall, and the creator of quietandstrong.com. This is a weekly podcast dedicated to understanding the strengths and needs of introverts. Introversion is not something to fix, but to be embraced. Normally, we'll air each episode on a Monday. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform. Leave a review. That would mean a lot to me. Tell a friend about the podcast. Help get the word out there that introversion is a beautiful thing. I recently had Ryan Showalter of 8451 on the podcast. I was very inspired by his story. Ryan tells of a meeting he was in where people were encouraged to share their latest accomplishments. One person shared that just them speaking in public right at that moment was a big accomplishment. As a fellow introvert, Ryan knew that struggle all too well. He had been there before, and he had since learned to embrace his introversion and his gifts and strengths, and also his needs. This led Ryan to form an associate resource group to support fellow introverts with understanding and learning to lean into introvert strengths and needs, and learning how to have their voice heard, amongst other things. Have there been times in your life where you felt like you couldn't speak up in meetings or give presentations or speeches? I was definitely there at one point in my life. I still see many people, especially introverts, uncomfortable in these situations. People might tell me things like, giving presentations, it's not my thing. There could be many reasons for reluctance to speak up or present in a work setting. In many cases, for introverts, understanding and embracing introversion could likely be a key. So, first, let's start with introverts and ideas. Introverts are deep thinkers. Our minds are often flooded with ideas because we're always thinking. I know that's the case for me. I say that introverts have a lot to say because we are always thinking. However, there's some things that can hold introverts back when it comes to sharing their ideas. A lot of this comes from not understanding introversion, strengths, needs, and strategies for success. Introverts have been responsible for many great innovations, inventions, and art. Here's some big ideas from introverts that have significantly changed the world. The founding of Microsoft by Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a famously introverted person who has described himself as being on the quiet side. His vision and leadership have helped to shape the modern world of technology and have made him one of the most influential figures of the past century. I know that I've benefited from the ideas of Bill Gates all of my working life. The development of the first successful airplane by the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, were American inventors and aviation pioneers who are credited with building and flying the world's first successful airplane. They were known for their quiet and reserved personalities, but their work on the airplane has had a lasting impact on the way we travel and explore the world. Can you imagine a world without airplanes? How about the discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming? Fleming was a Scottish physician and a microbiologist who is credited with discovering penicillin, one of the first antibiotics to be used in modern medicine. He was known for his quiet and unassuming personality, but his work on penicillin has had a profound impact on the treatment of infectious diseases and has saved countless lives around the world. Or how about the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling? Rowling has described herself as an introvert. Her Harry Potter series has become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring millions of readers around the world and sparking a multi-billion-dollar franchise. My kids all love these books, and we watched all these movies as a family when my kids were younger. As introverts, we are built for ideas. What is your big idea? Maybe it could be world changing, or maybe it could significantly change the way your company works, or maybe it is an idea for a new company. Maybe it is a way to work that will make the lives of employees better, or maybe it is an idea to make things better for those you care about or for you. We have ideas all the time. Sometimes when we're trying to have ideas, sometimes when we're thinking about something else, or some of the best ideas come when we're relaxing and not trying to have ideas at all. So if we're not acting on the idea, it's important to capture it. It may be a great idea and we don't want to let it get away. Consider writing down your thoughts, opinions, ideas in a journal, blog, or other written format for later to work on or to share with others. Writing also clarifies ideas. Introverts may find it helpful to keep a journal where they can jot down their thoughts and ideas. And this can be a private space where introverts can reflect on their own experiences and observations without the pressure of sharing their ideas with others, or at least until they're ready to. Try mind mapping. Mind mapping is a visual tool that can help introverts organize their ideas and make connections between different concepts. And this can be done on paper, or there's many apps out there. Some introverts like me may prefer to process their ideas through speech and may find it helpful to use a voice memo app to capture their thoughts. This can be especially useful when inspiration strikes when you're on a walk or doing some other type of activity. Brainstorming with a friend or colleague can be helpful. While introverts may not enjoy the pressure of group brainstorming sessions, they may find it helpful to bounce ideas off a friend or a colleague who shares their interests and values. And also keep in mind, introverts may do some great brainstorming solo. Introverts may find that they do some of their best thinking while taking long walks or hikes in nature. This can be a great opportunity to clear the mind, observe the world around them, and generate new ideas. Overall, capturing ideas can be an important part of the creative process for introverts. Find methods that play to your strengths as a reflective thinker and observer. Introverts can develop a powerful tool for generating and refining their ideas. Another important aspect in having a voice is doing meaningful work you love. And also keep in mind, if you're not at this point, you can get there. Dan Miller is a career coach and author of 48 Days to the Work You Love. He is known for his work in helping people find meaningful and fulfilling work. He has outlined 3 things that he believes are essential to find work that you love. The first thing you need to do to find work that you love is a set of skills that are in demand in the job market. These skills should be aligned with your natural abilities and interests and strengths so that you can perform them well and enjoy doing them. The second thing you need to do to find work that you love is a set of values that align with your personal beliefs and priorities. These values should guide your decisions, your actions, and should be reflected in the work that you do. And the third thing you need to do to find work that you love is a set of passions that drive you and give you a sense of purpose. These passions should be related to your skills and values and should inspire you to pursue the work that's meaningful and fulfilling. According to Miller, by identifying and aligning skills, values, and passions, you can find work that not only pays the bills, which is very important, but also brings joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. I'm often asked, what are the best jobs for introverts? And I say it is the work that you're passionate about, aligns with your talents and values, and of course, pays the bills. And most jobs could be held by introverts or extroverts. Just the approach to a particular job likely would look different for an introvert compared to an extrovert. And in your job, bring your best. Become an expert. Use your thinking skills as an introvert to make some great contributions. A major factor for introverts not being heard is that we may not understand our communication styles. In general, introverts think and then speak, and extroverts speak in order to think. As an introvert, we're putting our best ideas together and then sharing what we think is most important. In contrast, extroverts are sharing most everything and may appear to have more ideas. But keep in mind, even if someone is the most vocal or the loudest in the room, it doesn't mean their ideas are the best. There are ways to share your great ideas with confidence. One of them is prepare in advance as much as possible. Introverts can feel more confident and articulate if they prepare their thoughts in advance. They can take their time to gather their ideas, organize their arguments, and think about what they want to say before the meeting. Prepare with a weekly review. Introverts may prepare for their week in various ways, depending on their personal preferences and lifestyle. Here's some ways that you might prepare for your week. Introverts often need time alone to recharge and process their thoughts. They may take time at the end of the previous week to reflect on what went well and what could be improved, and plan their upcoming week accordingly. This could involve setting goals, prioritizing tasks, scheduling activities that align with values and passions, and preparing for those meetings, conversations, speeches that are coming up. For meetings, get the agenda in advance. Reviewing the agenda, introverts may feel more comfortable and confident in meetings when they know what to expect. They may review the meeting agenda beforehand to understand the purpose of the meeting, the topics that will be covered, and the roles and responsibilities of the participants. Introverts may prefer to gather as much information as possible before the meeting. They may review documents, reports, or other materials related to the meeting topics to prepare questions or comments in advance. Think about the contributions you want to make. What questions do you want to pose? Note these things ahead of time. You may think through your ideas and arguments and consider how you will express them to the group. Introverts may feel more comfortable and focused in a quiet space. So you may find, if you can, a private room or corner where you can gather your thoughts and mentally prepare for the meeting. And when it comes to the meeting, either arrive early or at least give yourself some time in between to breathe. Introverts may prefer to arrive early, get settled, and adjust to the environment. You may use this time to review your notes or take a bit of time to relax and feel more centered. Introverts may prepare for meetings by gathering information, thinking about their contributions, finding a quiet space to gather their thoughts. By taking these steps, introverts can feel more comfortable and confident in their ability to contribute to the meeting in a meaningful way. So, how can you be more confident in presentations? Recognize your strengths. Introverts may feel confident when they recognize their unique strengths and abilities. They may take time to reflect on their accomplishments and skills that they have developed over time and use this knowledge to approach new challenges with greater self assurance. Take care of yourself. Introverts may feel more confident when they prioritize their physical and emotional well being. They may also engage in activities that help them feel relaxed, such as meditation, yoga, and reading a book. Take care of yourself and feel more energized and ready to take on new challenges. Introverts may also feel more confident when they set realistic goals. Break down larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks and celebrate your progress along the way. By achieving smaller goals, you can build a sense of accomplishment and confidence. Expand your comfort zone. Now, I didn't say get out of it. You need to get out of it, but you also need to change it so that those things that are causing you to worry don't cause you to worry anymore. So this may involve taking on new projects at work, attending a social event, or learning a new skill. By pushing yourself to expand your comfort zone, introverts can expand their capabilities and develop greater self-confidence. So when it comes to presentations and speeches, just like with meetings, prepare in advance. Give some thought to your purpose in your presentation or speech. Consider your audience. Remember, you're speaking for a reason. You've developed some knowledge and expertise that people want to hear. Also, let your passion for the subject shine through. Introverts are often passionate about specific topics that they have deep knowledge of or expertise in. As you present on topics that you're passionate about, you'll feel confident speaking about them. Also, overcome perfectionism. Something that's helped me incredibly is telling myself, you've prepared, you have important things to share, and you're not perfect. And nobody in the audience is perfect either. Introverts may struggle with public speaking, but they can improve their confidence in this area with practice. You may start by speaking in front of a small group of friends or colleagues and gradually work your way up to larger audiences. As you put yourself out there for opportunities, it is fine to start small. By practicing public speaking, introverts can develop greater confidence in their ability to communicate effectively. Focus on the audience rather than focusing on your own nerves or self doubt. Focus on the needs and interests of your audience. What can you offer that will be of value to them? By shifting your focus away from yourself and onto the needs of others, you may feel more confident and comfortable speaking in front of a group. You may also share a message that you have utilizing technology. There's so many platforms and technologies that introverts can use to express themselves. You can participate in online forums, social media groups, start your own blog or podcast to share your thoughts and ideas with a wider audience. And of course, when you're doing all this, often imposter syndrome can creep in. Imposter syndrome is a common feeling of self-doubt and inadequacy that can affect anyone, including introverts. I've been there. You may be telling yourself, who am I to do this presentation or speech? I've been there. I used to get very nervous before presentations or even speaking up in a meeting. I might have a dry throat, rapid heartbeat, maybe even shaky knees. Since I have learned about my introversion, how to embrace it, how to confidently share my ideas and thoughts, I don't get nervous anymore. For example, I now have a podcast on the strengths of introverts. I talk with amazing guests, and I do guest appearances on other podcasts. I've given many presentations and speeches. I've been on panels, and I love it. These kinds of things don't make me nervous anymore, but I do my preparation, which is part of the key. So instead, say to yourself, why not me? I am well qualified, and I have some important things to share. So here's some important tips that introverts can use to overcome imposter syndrome. Recognize and acknowledge your accomplishments. Often, introverts downplay their accomplishments and focus on their shortcomings. It's important to recognize and acknowledge your accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. Keep a list of your accomplishments and look back when you're feeling some self-doubt. Reframe your thinking. Instead of focusing on what you don't know or can't do, reframe your thinking to focus on what you do know and can do. Recognize that everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and it's okay to ask for help or seek out resources to address areas where you feel less confident. Be kind to yourself. Introverts may be especially hard on themselves when they make mistakes or encounter obstacles. Practice self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness and understanding, and acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes and faces challenges. And seek out support. Talk to good friends, mentors, colleagues who can provide encouragement and support. Surrounding yourself with a supportive network can help build your confidence, remind you of your strengths. And instead of dwelling on your feelings of self-doubt, take action towards your goal. Break down larger tasks into smaller, manageable steps, and focus on making progress towards your goals. Remember, overcoming imposter syndrome takes time and effort. By focusing on your strengths, practicing self-compassion, and taking action towards your goals, introverts can build their confidence and overcome feelings of self-doubt. And in all of this, remember, use your great powers of reflection as an introvert. What worked well? What do you want to do next time? And don't give up when things get tough. In the beginning, I mentioned the Wright brothers, and they went through many different trials and errors and crashes, but we're so glad that they persisted. You have great gifts as an introvert and many ideas to share. Find your best way to have your voice heard, and don't compare your approach to one that an extrovert may take. The people in your life and the world need your well thought out ideas. You have great strengths as an introvert, but you also need to prepare. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you take the time to explore other episodes and learn from our amazing guests. Remember, if you're interested in getting to know yourself better, there's now a free Type Finder personality assessment on the Quiet and Strong website. This free assessment will give you a brief report, including the 4-letter Myers-Briggs code. I will add a link in the show notes. And I'd love to connect with you. Reach out at david@quietandstrong.com or check out the quietandstrong.com website, which includes blog posts and links to social media for Quiet and Strong. Send me topics or guests you would like to see on the show. There's so many great things about being an introvert, and we need those things to be understood. Get to know your introverted strengths and needs and be strong.